if I don't get in line early enough, you'll understand I just slipped into a car. So that's what you gotta do.
Everybody has 2 minutes.
There you go.
2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Okay.
Everybody has 2 minutes. And all of you are basically. Hold this for me. Keone, hold that for me. Good afternoon.
You all right?
This can only go so far. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for being here this afternoon. This administration has shown a blatant disregard for the mental and physical health of children in custody. They're spending weeks and even months in detention conditions that are tantamount to living under house arrest. And we are upset about it. And we came today to say we will shut this down if we have to. And because this does not have to be this way. These children can be processed and sent to foster care. They can be processed and sent to next of care, next of kin, aunts, grandmothers, people in the community who know them, and that's what we're fighting for today. Yes. In recent weeks, news outlets have reported horror stories about children living in squalor at some of the shelters to care for them. While these children here seem to be looked after in a clean environment, their physical appearance is not always a gauge for mental health. So we have to be careful of today. And I came specifically looking for girls. Where are the girls? I did not see the girls. I did not see the girls. So I am not prepared to leave this facility until I see the girls. Until the girls can look me in my face and say, I am okay, I am being taken care of, I know how to get my feminine products. I am not leaving this facility today. Even if I have to spend the night, even if I have to spend 2 days, I am prepared to stay until I see the girls. And now, civil rights icon, Mr. John Lewis.
I must tell you that I came here to learn.
I want you to step on this pole.
I came here to learn. I've been deeply moved by what I have seen, what I have observed. And I will go back to Washington, D.C. within the next few days, much more determined to hold on to something I've been believing in for some time. That when you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, you have to say something. You have to do something. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being out here in the hot sun, day in and day out, standing up, speaking out, and getting in good trouble, necessary trouble. So thank you, and may God bless each and every one of you.
And next we'll have the chairman of the Homeland Security Committee, all the way from Washington, D.C., Mr. Benny Thompson.
Thank you very much. As the Congresswoman said, I chair the House Committee on Homeland Security. Part of my responsibility is to come and look at facilities like this and see what we need to do to fix them. I can tell you today that it's what I didn't see that bothers me the most. I don't see the Miami-Dade school system involved in the educating of the children who are in this facility. I don't see children being tested to determine what classroom they need to go in. So there are a number of things. The children are staying here beyond the 20-day requirement of the Flores decision. And more importantly, taxpayers are paying $775 per day per child for people to be held in these situations. So I go back with my other colleagues with a broader view of what we need to do to make things work. So I promise you that we will do that. We will do it post haste, and it doesn't matter what the president or any of his people say, we're going to get it right. Thank you.
And now we have the Vice Chair of the Democratic Caucus, Ms. Catherine Clark.
Thank you. It is a pleasure. Thank you, Congresswoman Wilson, for having us here today. I have to say there have been more questions raised than answered on this visit. And we have one obligation that all of us who take an oath of office, all of us who call us a member of a community or a neighborhood have, and that is to care for our children. That's our obligation. That's what we must do. And all of the children who are here are our children. And we must understand what is happening. As we've talked to the doctors who said they're seeing rising cases of influenza, strep throat, fevers, that children are arriving here. What is it going to take to comply with the law, have these children reunited with their sponsors, their family members within the 20 days? That is the law. That is the standard. And it is not being met. Gains have been made, but it is not being met. So we are so grateful for everyone who is here, who is not letting these children fall out of our sight and out of our hearts. And I'm very proud to turn this back to our leader who organized this trip today, Congresswoman Wilson.
You all come on this side. Come up. I think you all better go. Say something before we go.
Congresswoman, can you please address the secret Facebook group where current and former Border Patrol agents are making jokes about migrants dying, throwing burritos at your colleagues, and among other things? Does it speak to a systematic issue?
Yes, it does.
So I want to be clear. When I was in the classroom with the children, the Pledge of Allegiance was on the wall, where these children who are immigrants and being called the descendants of rapists and violent people, they pledge allegiance to the United States of the United States. And then when we walked into the cafeteria, there was a sign said, "Through these doors walk the greatest people in the world." Then you have this other element, a president who demonizes anyone who crosses the border. And the children, the inhumanity for children. This is something that we must address. I want to give you something that was really appalling to me. Do you realize that these children get 15 minutes to eat? In prison, they get 30 minutes. So we, as members of Congress, I sit on appropriations, I'm co-chair of the Women's Caucus, and I stand in unity with my colleague in saying we will ensure that the girls in this facility are treated with humanity, and I'm so glad to be here today.
All right, Matt.
Congresswoman Dean.
They're every day. They're shredding the records.
The-
They're shredding the documentation.
Those people who are online making fun of members of Congress are a disgrace. And there's no need for anyone to think that is unacceptable. We're going to shut them down and work with whoever it is to shut them down, and they should be prosecuted. You cannot intimidate members of Congress, threaten members of Congress. It is against the law, and it's a shame in this United States of America. But this is how this president has taken this country to its knees. He has taken this country to its knees that people have lost respect for Congress. People have lost respect for the media, and people have lost respect for the White House. So this is something that we are working on. Let's be glad we found it, and we're going to correct it, and we're going to shut it down. Now Ms. Marilyn Dean.
Very, very briefly, my name is Madeline Dean. I'm a congresswoman from Pennsylvania, suburban Philadelphia. I came here to bear witness to the truth. And what I was impressed by was the absence of educational showcasing. I'm a teacher at heart. I'm a teacher by profession. And I was shocked at how little we saw of the children, how little we saw of any kind of educational value. I'm going to post a video where John Lewis spoke to some young girls about keeping your eye on the prize. Don't become bitter. America is a welcoming place. It sure is, but we need to shut this down because what this is a warehouse for children for profit.
That's all it is. And now we have the actual National Teacher of the Year for the entire United States for 2017, Miss Presley. Hey, Johanna Hayes.
Johanna Hayes.
Teacher of the Year.
Well, while I may be new to Congress, I'm not new to children. I'm a mother. And what I saw in there was almost too perfect. It was too perfect. Beds perfectly made, areas. So either they're doing a great job here or they just missed out on an opportunity to ask Congress for help. What I saw in there was a young girl who's turning 18 years old today, and ICE is being informed to come and pick her up, to transport her in shackles to a teacher. I know what a robust curriculum looks like, and that is not what I saw in there. I cannot, in this Congress or on my watch, support facilities like this. You can have something, you can be briefed on something, have staff tell you something, you can read about it, but it's nothing like seeing it for yourself. And what I saw in there is not anything that I would want for my children. And if I don't want it for my children, then it's not okay for anyone else's children. I am going to work to make sure that we are not supporting facilities like this. The staff here has been tremendous. I can't imagine that the 4,000 people who are employed at this institution don't care about these kids. But if the direction that is coming down on them is not that we have a responsibility to not just house these kids, but to nurture them, to support them, to make sure they have what they need, then this cannot exist. I don't even know what to, God help us all. God help us all. If this is what Americans do, God help us all.